Hope you're enjoying Midnight Mausoleum movie tonight on SCV TV, The Terror at Red Wolf Inn. Now, if the Red Wolf Inn looks a little familiar to our Santa Clarita viewers, that's because it's actually the Newhall family mansion in Piru, just a little bit down the street from Six Flags Magic Mountain. Now, this Piru mansion was actually built between 1889 and 1894 by a man named David Caleb Cook. He was an evangelist from Elgin, Illinois. And I suppose today he would have been a televangelist, but he was really prominent and he actually published his sermons in pamphlet form and spread the gospel that way. In 1889, David Caleb Cook developed a severe cough, and as was commonly done at the time, his doctors recommended that he come out to California to the better weather out here. And this was also a time, remember the 1880s, was a time when the romance of the old Spanish days of California was a really popular thing and attracting people from back east out here to the west. So Cook came out here and over a period of about 5 years built this beautiful Queen Anne style castle and contributed to building a church down the street. He planted a lot of crops on the property, crops that actually appear in the Bible. In fact, out back behind the mansion, there are a couple gigantic olive trees that are over 100 years old, probably planted by Cook himself. Now, turn off the clock to 1972. We've come a little ways since the days of the idyllic biblical paradise to come to the point where it's the Red Wolf Inn in this cultish horror movie. In 1972, the property was owned by Ruth and Scott Newhall, a very prominent family in Santa Clarita. They came to town in 1963 and took over the Newhall Signal newspaper, the local daily newspaper, which they ran for 25 years. Now there's a little asterisk here. The mansion that appears in the movie in 1972 is not exactly the same as the mansion that you see behind me. Because in 1981, Ruth and Scott Newhall were doing some much needed repairs to the property. And they hired a contractor, and the contractor was up on the roof scraping off paint. Wasn't going too well, brought out a blowtorch to remove the rest of the paint, and, well, you know what happened. The mansion burned all the way to the ground. Ruth and Scott Newhall rebuilt the mansion exactly as it was, and over the years, it has continued to be used in many movies, television commercials, all sorts of things. And good news, this mansion can be yours for a cool $3.4 million. That's right, it's for sale. If you're interested, look up Keller Davis Realty in the Santa Clarita Valley.